Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here at the First Alert Desk. My name's Karli Barnett, and we want to give you a look at some of the stories that we are following for your Saturday. I know we're getting on a few minutes late here, but that's because we were working to confirm some breaking news that is happening right now at Kennesaw State University. Let's go ahead. And we don't have any video yet because we do have a crew headed to the scene right now. But here's something that we do know, and that is that according to police, an armed intruder was reported at Kennesaw State University. A shelter-in-place order has been issued there. KSU Emergency Management sent that alert a short time after 4 o'clock. If you go to AtlantaNewsFirst.com right now, that is the top story on our webpage. Here, I'll go ahead and pull that up for you now so that you can see that. Keep in mind, we do have a breaking update, even just from this breaking news. Kennesaw State Police have now issued an all clear. Our digital producer, Ellie, has just told me that a suspect has been shot. We are awaiting more details about what exactly took place there, who this suspect is, and why they were on campus in the first place. We have Atlanta News First reporter Bridget Spencer. She is headed to Kennesaw State University right now, and we will continue to keep you updated both on air and online with any developments. Here, like I said, we have our AtlantaNewsFirst.com homepage. If you haven't already, you can download our Atlanta News First free app. You can sign up for push notifications and get those breaking news alerts sent directly to your phone. So what we know at this point, this is very much a fluid situation right now, but according to the university, there was some sort of armed intruder reported on campus. A shelter in place had to be ordered. Since then, in the last 30 minutes, the all clear has been issued, and there was a person who was shot. Again, we don't know any names involved. We don't know the circumstances of this yet, but we will continue to keep you updated on these breaking news alerts. Some more significant news that took place today is President Joe Biden is in Metro Atlanta this weekend. He arrived on Air Force One today. We've got some video here of him arriving to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. He is in town ahead of a busy weekend. So he will be the commencement speaker tomorrow morning at Morehouse College, and you can actually stream that right here on ANF Plus if you want to see that in full. He will be speaking tomorrow to the graduating class of 550 students at Morehouse College, and he will be also campaigning in Atlanta this weekend. He is currently, or was just a short time ago, at Mary Mac's Tea Room in downtown Atlanta ahead of some other campaign events. You can see we had crews in place at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport as the president touched down. This was around 12:30 this afternoon. And as we all know, Georgia is a very key state in election 2024. And Team Biden-Harris, who issued a statement yesterday, said they are very much aware of that. And in fact, they are opening 10 different campaign offices that will be in place by the end of this month. They also have said they have launched a seven-figure ad campaign that will be taking place in television ads across the different battleground states. Georgia, of course, is included in that. And Team Biden-Harris issuing a statement saying they very much intend to win Georgia again. As we know, with election 2024, Georgia will be very critical when it comes to getting those key numbers that both President Biden and former President Donald Trump are seeking. Keep in mind that the president will be back in town again on June 27th, as well as former President Donald Trump. They will be in Atlanta for a debate. There you see, he's getting off Air Force One. President Biden was last in Atlanta back in March, and Vice President Kamala Harris was here really just a few weeks ago at the end of April. So today marked the president's second visit to the Peach State so far this year. And again, we do know of another visit that he will be making on June 27th for that debate. So you can see him there speaking with Senators Jon Ossoff and Senator Raphael Warnock. And this was ahead of a motorcade that took them to Mary Mac's Tea Room, where he was speaking with voters this afternoon. Now, as far as his commencement speech tomorrow at Morehouse College, That has not been met without some controversy. There were a number of students that, in fact, protested the president's visit and actually called for his invitation to be rescinded. Their concerns are over the war currently in Gaza and the United States sending aid to Israeli forces. The president of Morehouse has said that he will allow silent protest as long as it does not disrupt any of the proceedings, any of the services, and as he put it, as long as it did not take away from the celebrations of other students. So I was at Morehouse College last night. We spoke with some students about what they had to say. We've also spoken with the president of Morehouse about why he said he was not going to rescind the invitation of the president to their commencement ceremony. And we also spoke with students who say they were excited about it. So wanted to play that for you just to get you a little bit more up to speed on where we are at this weekend and what brought us to this point. Saturday for his second trip to the Peach State this year in preparation of his commencement address to 550 graduates at Morehouse College Sunday. He spoke about it Friday during a speech at the National Museum of African American History and Culture in D.C.
The founders of Morehouse understood something fundamental. Education is linked to freedom, because to be free means to have something that no one can ever take away from you.
Some students are looking forward to the visit.
Having a standing president at your commencement speaking, that's obviously historical.
I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say.
While others were not.
It feels like a slap in the face.
There's a blatant and intentional aversion and ignorance of us as students, and that hurts.
It comes after pro-Palestine demonstrations across the country, including here at Morehouse, and even calls to rescind the president's invitation. The president of Morehouse says why he didn't do that.
I think we need some place in this country that can hold the tensions that threaten to divide us.
Outside of the ceremony, the Biden administration says he will be attending a campaign event with black voters. Team Biden-Harris says they know the importance of Georgia, opening 10 campaign offices across the state by the end of this month and launching a 7-figure TV ad campaign in battleground states. They released a statement saying, quote, the Biden-Harris coalition delivered Georgia for Democrats for the first time in nearly 3 decades in 2020, and we're putting in the work to win the state again. Now, also taking place today, Arthur Blank, who is the billionaire Home Depot founder, hosting a high-dollar fundraiser for President Joe Biden in Atlanta, this on the eve of his commencement address tomorrow at Morehouse College, happening at 9 a.m. Now, polls show that Biden and former President Donald Trump are in a very close race here in Georgia, which voted Democratic, you'll remember, in 2020 for the first time in nearly 3 decades. So, as we've said, a lot of eyes are right here on the state of Georgia and right here in Metro Atlanta as campaign 2024 really gets underway. I know we're only in May and still looking ahead to November, but these candidates already on the campaign trail. So we want to turn now to some other news that's happening across Metro Atlanta, including a SWAT standoff in Lawrenceville. We have some video of that. You can see there they go, going into a home in this neighborhood. What we know is that a SWAT team was called to a house in Gwinnett County. Law enforcement agencies were outside of the house, which was on the 300 block of Dixie Court, for several hours. And police say the situation was domestic in nature, with a man refusing to come out of the home. Now, the department had said they weren't clear if the female that was in the home was being held against her will, but a man was eventually arrested, and the woman, who was unharmed, according to police. Now, Telemundo Atlanta, our sister station, captured video of what appeared to be a man surrendering to police. We spoke with neighbors who say that police were urging neighbors to leave their houses just to make sure that they were all safe. We spoke to someone who was visiting there when all of this happened. She says that police were throwing smoke bombs, telling this man to surrender. Eventually, that neighbor says the woman walked out of the home with 2 children before a man was ultimately arrested. So this is still a developing story. We do not know the name of the person who has been taken into custody. We also don't know what started all of this, but we are going to continue to stay on top of this. But we do know that one man has been taken into custody, appearing to surrender to police. And according to a neighbor, another woman and children were in the house at the time when this man was allegedly refusing to come out. I see that Doc is joining us, asking about the weather. So, hey, we will get to First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin in just a moment, and he is going to be able to tell you more about your forecast. In the meantime, I did just have one more news headline that I wanted to bring to you. Our reporter, Asia Wilson, staying on top of this, a sad story to have to report today, but a 21-year-old woman was shot and killed this morning in northwest Atlanta, and two people were in the car with that woman, the driver who called 911 and the woman's 2-year-old child. Asia Wilson picks up our story from here.
Certainly a sad situation here on Center Street. Atlanta police say 3 people opened fire on the car that had 3 people inside. The mother was in the passenger seat and was hit and killed. Her toddler was also inside. Atlanta police say they got the call around 2 this morning saying the woman in her early 20s was shot. After investigating, police discovered the shooting happened on Center Street and the driver then drove to Hollywood Road to call 911. Police believe this was a targeted incident. They say surveillance video shows as the car was driving, 3 males on foot opened fire when the car drove by. We're told the driver and the small child were not hurt. A woman who doesn't want to be identified, fearing there could be retaliation, lives at the nearby apartment complex and says something has to be done to stop the crime in this area.
I'm just coming home from work. I'm tired of this. This is nerve-wracking. At what point is anybody going to take attention to the fact that this is a property with how many children? We talking about traumatic events that's going on that is affecting children.
And now Atlanta police say this is all still under investigation. They're working to determine a motive. They're asking anyone who knows anything to call Crime Stoppers. We have all of the information on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. In Northwest Atlanta, Asia Wilson, Atlanta News First.
All right, and just want to take a moment to bring you back to that breaking news that we talked about at the beginning here at the First Alert Desk. Something to keep in mind is that we do have a crew that is being sent to Kennesaw State University. This happened shortly after 4 o'clock. The university issued a shelter-in-place order that came from the emergency management at KSU. They said an armed intruder had been reported at the university. Since then, in just the last 30 minutes, they have given the all clear, and they say that a shooting had taken place. We are working to learn more about who this person was on campus, why they were there to begin with, and all of the situation leading up to this. So as I mentioned before, you can continue to check back with AtlantaNewsFirst.com. You can check back with our app, and you will get push notifications with those breaking developments. So from here, I want to turn now to the outdoors. Look at that. We've got some clouds hovering over Atlanta.
Yeah.
Cutter, today is a First Alert weather day, so people need to keep that in mind as they are planning out the rest of their Saturday.
Yeah, especially your evening plans to about 9, 10 p.m. And yeah, there's going to be some rain tonight into tomorrow, but really it's now through about 9 or 10 p.m. when we will see the greatest chance for showers and thunderstorms in the First Alert forecast. In fact, we have already seen a few small downpours, not much in the way of thunder nor any lightning, but a few downpours inside the perimeter. We do have some noisier storms, more activity off to our north and to our northwest. We're going to be tracking that here for you during this Atlanta News First Plus stream. Again, thank you for tuning in and for watching. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. I know we have gotten a couple weather questions. Doc Phillips is saying, is it a storm, a tornado? What's going on? We do have a marginal 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather today, but the risk of severe weather lower than the past few days. And in general, we're looking at really just an isolated to maybe widely scattered strong or severe thunderstorm chance today. Again, the strong activity, the type of thunderstorms that'll really pack a punch, a little bit few and far between, but we do have that limited risk, marginal risk, level 1 out of 5. Again, we're opening up our weather graphics here, so just bear with me there, Doc. No widespread severe weathers in the First Alert forecast, though. Showers, thunderstorms, heavy rain, booming thunder, maybe some briefly gusty winds with almost any storm that develops and moves through today. And we're already tracking several of those strong-ish storms. But as far as severe weather, something that would get a warning, that'll be relatively isolated. Still, though, worth keeping your eye on, especially if you have the outdoor plans. Weather can change pretty quickly at any given spot in this type of a scenario. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull up radar here. And if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, again, a reminder, you can always reach out to me on YouTube at Atlanta News First. That is the account that we are streaming on right now. Doc Phyllis, is it a storm or tornado? What's going on? We have scattered thunderstorms, no tornado warnings. We do have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings, or we did, I guess not any longer at the moment, and portions of Alabama. Storms, though, have weakened just a bit, and that severe thunderstorm warning earlier has been allowed to expire. So the potential is still there, but technically no warnings in effect right now, though we are tracking a handful of strong thunderstorms moving through Bartow County, Floyd County, and Gordon County, that I-75 corridor northwest of Atlanta right now, seeing the strongest of the thunderstorm activity, so do keep that in mind. We do still have the risk of additional thunderstorms reaching strong to severe thresholds as we go through the afternoon. Today, a first alert weather day. Scattered evening downpours already underway, and will continue in the first alert forecast. Going to switch over radar modes here. This one a little bit more sensitive and get us a better idea of what we actually have going on at the surface, and kind of gives us a better glimpse into the system and the thunderstorms as they develop and then move through North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. So zooming down in, strongest storms of the bunch across eastern Floyd County, just moving through Rome, the north side of town right now, in Bartow County, right now north and west of Cartersville, and then moving through Gordon County, Calhoun right now, west side of town especially. Seeing the loudest thunder, the most frequent lightning. Storms are moving roughly off to the north and northeast. These particular downpours at about 20-25 miles an hour. Tracking this through, it'll be in the Pine Log community by 522 into Calhoun proper 531. This is in addition to the storm that you're getting right now. Sugar Valley 543, Ludville 548, the Blaine community 557, 603, Carbondale. For those that are out and about inside I-285, of course, Porch Fest is going on in Virginia Highland right now. We've had a few downpours kind of dance around those neighborhoods. Ponce Highland, Virginia Highland. We'll go back to the last, let's do the last 45 minutes, give you a better idea of what we've been dealing with and what we have coming down the pike right now. And you can see right now we are dry. It did rain a little bit in that area about an hour and a half ago. This kind of rough spot here is Virginia Highland, and you can see there's a shower up in Buckhead, moving up into Sandy Springs, a little bit more rain here up into Gwinnett County outside of I-285, stretching back to Lilburn, Snellville, moving into Lawrenceville. We'll be watching the southwest side of town to see if any new development can occur up across Mechanicsville, and on down towards East Point, Riverdale, College Park. If new storms develop there, they will move to the north and east into Virginia Highland and across where much of the Porch Fest activities are ongoing. As far as Porch Fest plans, of course, we're watching this downpour moving through South Fulton, Union City area that could move inside the perimeter and create an issue a little bit later. But the bigger story is this line of thunderstorms that is developing across eastern Alabama, moving in the direction of Metro Atlanta, first into Cleburne and Randolph counties in Alabama, and then Floyd County, Haralson County impacted as well, Polk County, Paulding County as well, and Carroll County on down into Heard and Troup counties. This line will likely continue to gradually organize and move its way in the general direction of Metro Atlanta. So today, first alert weather day. Keep an eye on the forecast. Thunderstorms are likely to continue through mid-evening. Outside of any rain and thunder, cloudy, relatively humid. Temperature is not too warm. Marietta 79, Alpharetta 79, Lawrenceville lower 70s, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport is in the mid-70s. If you do have outdoor plans this evening, keep an eye on that First Alert forecast. One way you can do so while still on the go is in the First Alert weather app. Just search Atlanta News First in your Apple Google Play Store. Sign up for those rain and those lightning alerts. Again, we are going to be tracking rain, showers, and thunderstorms moving through this evening. In fact, we can go ahead and pull up that forecast here for you. And do notice, first alert weather day, 5 p.m., scattered thunderstorms developing across Metro Atlanta. Here comes that line. It's saying it'll be in the west side of the city of Atlanta, West Metro, by 9 p.m., though I do think a little earlier. If anything, I think that this cluster of storms moving in from Alabama right now is going to be a little bit ahead of schedule. You can see most of the Metro impacted as we get, maybe 7, 8, 9 p.m., I'm going to go ahead and turn off this banner here just so that you can see more clearly what is forecast to move through. And you can see Troup and Heard counties, Carroll counties also impacted right up and down that I-85 corridor as we get into this evening. So even your after-dinner plans could be impacted. As mentioned, I do think that this line will move out of Alabama into West Georgia, Metro Atlanta a little sooner than what this computer model thinks so, but has the right general idea. Storms moving in. I don't think we're rain-free tonight. As you can see, even 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, there are a couple of showers, and by 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, scattered showers, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder, especially north and east sides of town. Gwinnett County, also Rockdale County, Newton and Walton counties, Clark Oconee counties, Hall County, Forsyth County, up into Banks County, favored for scattered rain tomorrow morning. So if you do have plans tomorrow, brunch with friends, time with family, trying to get the gardening work done before it gets too warm and muggy as we get through the day. If you're trying to get those plans in early, you could be contending with rain. And after that morning potential for rain, I think there will be more isolated thunderstorms developing, likely moving from northeast to southwest, opposite movement from today. Of course, today we're talking about storms moving generally east and out of Alabama. Tomorrow, storms moving south and west as this, counterclockwise flow around this little disturbance area of low pressure continues to move through North Georgia. So tomorrow, generally a drier day, but still a day with some rain around. A day to keep an eye on the First Alert Weather app if you have extended outdoor plans, but better for the plans tomorrow versus today. Tomorrow's still the pick day of the weekend, and a day that is not, at this point, a First Alert Weather day. A little warmer with more sun tomorrow. 80 in Atlanta, Gainesville 78, Athens 79. Rome is at 81, Noonan 80, and keep in mind it will be warm and it will be relatively muggy. As far as storms today, there is that very low end risk of severe weather. Folks were asking about thunderstorms and the risk of any tornadoes earlier. We are not tracking a widespread risk of severe weather, and an isolated tornado is very unlikely, though the chance not quite zero, just above that. I do think a couple storms will produce hail, maybe up to the size of quarters. It's generally small hail with the strongest storms, and wind gusts 55, 65 miles an hour with 1 or 2 storms as they move through this afternoon and this evening. The risk of heavy rain, ponding of water in the typical trouble spots, of course, it's there with any storm that develops today, and these will be frequent and vivid lightning producers. If you are out and about today, for example, Porch Fest, a lot going on. Please do move indoors. We have commencements underway as well. Could be impacted by showers and storms, especially those after those post-commencement celebrations with friends, family, and loved ones. Also, high school graduations ongoing as well. Some of those are outdoors. Make sure that you do have your precipitation or your rain and your lightning alerts turned on in the First Alert Weather app. You can be alerted to storms approaching your area, perhaps before you even see that cloud, hear that thunder. First Alert 7-day forecast. Do want to show you this. Unfortunately, no 6 p.m. newscast this evening on Atlanta News First, nor will we have a 10 p.m. newscast, Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV. But we do hope you'll stay up with us. Join us tonight at 11 on Atlanta News First, WANF, hopefully going on time. Full forecast, though, you can always grab it on a stream like this one, Atlanta News First Plus. Another one slated for 8 p.m. Of course, if there's breaking news or weather, we'll let you know much before then, well before then. And you can always get that forecast at atlantanewsfirst.com and in the First Alert Weather app. So, First Alert Weather Day today, scattered showers and storms in the forecast. Tomorrow, a few more storms, some showers around, but generally drier. No First Alert Weather Day. Much drier and warmer to boot as we get into Wednesday and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, rather, with highs in the upper 80s to near 90. A stretch of summer-like warmth is on the way. Perhaps our first set of lower 90s in the forecast as we get into the next work week, and especially as we get into next weekend. I want to thank you for joining this Atlanta News First Plus stream. Haven't seen any new comments coming in. A reminder, though, if you do have any weather questions, comments, concerns, you can always reach out to me on social media. I'm Cutter Martin, meteorologist here at Atlanta News First. That's CUTTERMARTIN. On X, you can find me, Instagram, Facebook. DMs are always open. Ask me weather clarification if you do have any plans outdoors today or tomorrow. If you need a heads up, a quick cast, of course, we're here, the entire Atlanta News First team, First Alert Weather team, here to keep you updated. So go out this evening, have that plan B, and be prepared to duck indoors as more showers and thunderstorms move in. We'll see you a little bit later tonight on Atlanta News First.